welcome to today's episode. Watching MD90 live here in Lusaka, here in Zambia. So stay tuned till the very end. Don't click out and subscribe if you haven't already.
Well, Edgar Lungu was slated to appear at a political rally in Chipata, Eastern Province, which was organized by a new Congress party, Pastor Peter Chanda there, and a number of Unka Alliance members were supposed to be part of it. So this rally was supposed to be taking place. Party announced this rally when it was approved by the police. They did not state that Edgar Lungu was going to be part of it, but everyone has figured out to say the only way that they will have the traction that they will need on the ground is if they involve Edgar Lungu, because he already has the political leverage on the ground. So people want to ride off that, especially these members that you see on screen from the Unka Alliance. So they would get a clearance and at the final stage announce who's going to appear. As you can see, who happens to even be a police did this. So Break Lungu's poster was at the Council New Congress Party mass political rally scheduled for today. So President Peter Chanda has told Smart Eagles that the cancellation is due to 6th President Edgar Chagwa Lungu's confirmation that he will attend the rally. He alleges that the plainclothes police officers have been deployed to see off the venue. So not only was it cancelled, but also police officers were deployed at the venue where that particular political rally was supposed to take place to prevent its setting off. So that's the news coming from the Oka Alliance or that particular political party. What is Edgar Lungu put up a scripture from 2 Corinthians 4:8-9, which says, we are hard pressed on every side, but not crushed or perplexed, but do not despair, persecuted, but do not abandoned, struck down, but not destroyed. That's Edgar Lungu's scripture, to which Chilufya Tayali screenshotted and reposted to say, my father, referring to Edgar Chagwa Lungu, says we should not despair. And then he says some colorful language there, so simply saying, in as much as the UPND has squeezed them, they should not despair. That's Chilufya Tayali's caption there. And then he later on shared this, because as you may be aware, Chilufya Tayali is on self-imposed exile, as you may call it. He keeps on changing countries, but he's been in different countries recently where he's even got an apartment. So he says, I broke my phone running away from a Zambian diplomat. And then he shared the screenshot, the picture of the phone that broke as he was trying to run away from a diplomat. A Zambian diplomat that he noticed. So that's the phone that broke. And then he had this to say. Arising from what has been happening in the country, where President Hakainde Hichilema is defying everything in his way to bar President Edgar Chagwa Lungu's. Yesterday, I was very devastated and stayed in my apartment like a pumpkin. So he says, based of what's happening in the country, he's been affected in the diaspora there. He says, in the evening, I was invited for dinner. And the good time, unfortunately, as I walked back to the apartment, I saw a plate, a diplomatic vehicle. As I drew closer to this, this guy pulled out his black head and shouted, Tayali! That's a diplomat, allegedly, or whoever was driving that car or was in that car, shouted, Tayali. From the tone of the voice, plus the red number plate, I knew this wasn't another day for a free $100 US dollars. So he says some people meet him in the diaspora and give him 100 US dollars. So he says, based off the tone of that person in that vehicle, he knew this wasn't one of those times he was going to receive 100 US dollars. And so I was like, he puts a colorful language there, and I walked like I was not the Tayali this guy was calling. Knowing that I am a very protected person, the guys I was with panicked and tried to rush me away. But in the process, I dropped my phone and I dropped my phone and this one broke. So he says the screen is completely shattered. I just have to replace it. Otherwise, don't worry. I am very safe in this country, even if I seem to be staying in a few blocks from where these diplomats are staying. They cannot dare touch me, he says, in the country that he is, but he ran anyway. My only issue is how to fight President Hakainde Hichilema with his Imingarato against President Lungu. In my view, we are not winning on that front. So he simply says, now I have to sort out my phone also before I get online. So he simply says, he was trying to run away and he broke his phone. What is in other news? Breaking news: Lusambo acquitted. Lusaka resident magistrate Trevor Kasanda has acquitted former Lusaka province minister Bowman Lusambo fear with a witness. The court said the state has failed to prove Lusambo indeed interfered with witness. So that has happened amongst the many cases that Bowman Lusambo has. One of them, he has won and he's been acquitted in that. So it's been a busy day. I mean, a busy week at the court the past week. A number of convictions and what is the Patriotic Fund put up this post says KBF says he's willing to work with Edgar Chagwa to help restore democracy in Zambia, and then they put up that these are Sata boys. These are the boys that were groomed by a late president Michael Sata, who is also the PF founding president. There it says KBF joins Edgar Chagwa to bring more hope by uniting Zambians to restoring democracy. So you can see that particular image there as things play out. Anyway, these are political games that I like you to play out in the build up to 2026. Let's see how things turn out. What is the UPND 36.1 million from 1.6 million with prudent utilization? Our constituencies will no longer be the same. So that's the amount of money that has been allotted to the CDF there in the new 2025 budget. Members are sharing 12,000. That's the new Kenneth Kaunda International Airport, which the UPND had referred to as the Sausage Airport. And then he puts up the commissioning of toilets up there, referring to the UPND, says CDF at 1.6 during the PF, and then they built that structure below, which is the airport. And then it says this is 36 million above there, says take your pick there. That's the amazing member of parliament. What is the UPND say? PF acting President Robert Chalinga urged parliamentarians to remove the political jacket and support the 2025 national budget. So the UPND seem to be recognizing this is a breakaway guy from Mao Sampa's PF. So as you may be aware, there are now 3 versions of PF. The Edgar Lungu led one, Mao Sampa led, where this guy Robert Chalinga broke off from. And this guy. So there are 3 versions of PF, and all of them are in court. These guys have got the court case with Mao Sampa. Mao Sampa's got the court case with Edgar Lungu. Wait and see how that plays out. Who's going to eventually own the PF by the time that they have to appear on the ballot in the 2026 elections? These are some of the images that came from the eligibility case that Edgar Lungu had which has been stated judgment to come up in October. That's Makebi Zulu, his lawyer there, as they went to court earlier on. And you can see former Edgar Lungu's running mate there at court earlier on. This is the time that they are being pushed away. They are not allowed to get into the court premises. They entered the court premises, should have been in the afternoon session, but in the morning session, they are not allowed. The place, the court case, the court premises was surrounded by police, as you can see from that image there. There was even a car that was put up by the PF alleging to say it was damaged by the police, a white vehicle, as they tried to close off the gate, which was belonging to the security team of Edgar Lungu during that court case. So I court holds suspension on 3 Concord judges. So as you may be aware, President Hakainde earlier on this week had suspended those 3 Concord judges, and they protested and appealed. So it seems like the High Court has barred them. So barred Concord judges protest. So that's in the Daily Nation, referring to the same news. We wait and see how that plays out. Pretty much, it's going to be another court case. That's the news, ladies and gentlemen.